Hi everyone, welcome back to the Smashing Pumpkins weekend. Today's song is 1979, written, or at least released, in 1996. Let's see what we've got. Nice little variation on that classic rhythm. Okay, maybe I should stop and explain what I'm talking about there. This drum percussion and rhythm. So this is a really common beat pattern, which I hear more and more actually in the as we progress out of the 70s, even through the 80s and into the 90s and moving on. It seems to become more and more part of the fabric of rock music. But every time I hear it, I can't help but think of my first time hearing Queen's We Will Rock You. Bum, bum, choo, bum, bum, choo, bum, bum, choo. And that is the simplest manifestation of this rhythm. Dum, bum, bum, dum, bum, bum. This is faster here. It's more light-footed, tiptoes even. And when I say it's a nice variation on that classic pattern, notice how, as it's playing, there are moments where bum, bum, choo, one or the other of those beats is missing, but you hear extra beats around it, and you still know that that beat is there and it exists. It's a kind of variation on the pattern, and it's very dance-like and, as I said, tiptoey sounding. Gotta love that bumper sticker. So this is really quite a musical contrast to what I heard yesterday, Once in a Lifetime. And at the same time, it feels like it has some common ground, especially when I look at what the lyrics are communicating. On a live wire right up off the street, you and I should meet. June bugs skipping like a stone with the headlights pointed at the dawn. We were sure we'd never see an end to it all, and I don't even care to shake these zipper blues. We don't know where our bones will rest. To dust, I guess. I get this feeling that this is, again, about embracing a moment and the opportunity and the thrill of living in the moment. And musically, we don't have the grand orchestral cinematic feel. It's more well, as I pointed out, that rhythm, which is in a sort of variant way present, dump bump bump, 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 all the way through. And sometimes the volume grows louder, as if the moment is growing nearer, or as if the sun is rising higher in the sky. There's this feeling of progression and dawn breaking, light breaking, in a very youthful way. And it feels like the kind of music that a young person might wake up to 14, 15, 16 years old on a morning. They just want to get up and go out and have a grand time with their friends, not a school day. And I guess that element has been captured very well in the video clip, hasn't it? I would have still felt that way without the video clip. But I like the way that the video clip really points that out to us and says, this is the youthful, hopeful, opportunity-embracing spirit that we're hearing here. And I can just imagine these kids that I'm seeing here listening to this music as they're driving the car down the road, going out to play wherever they want to play, and turning the volume higher, somebody turning the volume higher and saying, oh, let's turn it up some more, let's roll down the windows. And there's this feeling of celebration, of embracing life, of, it's a wonderful day to be alive. And that is what I feel the two Smashing Pumpkins songs of this weekend have in common. This message, this vibe, this spirit of life is full of opportunity, life is good, let's embrace it and live it to the fullest, in a positive way. I guess. A sort of youthful awareness of even our mortality. You get to hear just the drum beat with the This is a feature, a distinctive quality that I notice every time I listen to a Smashing Pumpkins song. The way in which the voice never even bothers to try to compete with the instruments. He sings in his own dynamic, his own tone, and his own musical world, regardless of what the instruments are doing around or beside or above or below or behind or in front of him. He just keeps on singing in his own way. And of course, it's just his style. It's his way, it's his voice, it's part of the way the band is. It's what makes them sound the way they do. One of the things that does, at least. And at the same time, each time I listen to one of their songs, I feel like they use that element very well. They apply it well to create their songs with the messages and the mood and feel that we end up with. I haven't heard it. I guess maybe one of the first times I listened to Smashing Pumpkins, I said I wish that the voice would have stood out more. But the more I listen to them, the more I start to appreciate this detail of them as a band. And this is another song, just like yesterday's song. This is another song where I feel like it becomes a strength rather than a weakness. It becomes a symbol of the independent spirit, well, if we look at the lyrics, double-cross the vacant and the bored. They're not sure just what we have in store. Morphine cities slipping dews down to sea that we don't even care. As restless as we are, we feel the pull in the land of 1,000 gilts and poured cement, lamented and assured to the lights and towns below, faster than the speed of sound, faster than we thought we'd go. Beneath the sound of hope, Justine never knew the rules. And this seems to be a developing story of we have the whole world and we live in this city and okay, we know things happen. We know that it's not all happy, but we are youthful. We are full of energy. We are full of life. And you and I should meet. And I don't even care to shake these zipper blues. We don't know just where our bones will rest. To dust, I guess. That's the sort of chorus, the refrain. We don't know, and we're not going to trouble ourselves about it. To dust, I guess. Yeah, sure, we admit we're all going to die eventually. But now is the time to embrace life, the youthful spirit, the hopeful spirit, regardless of the fact that, okay, we've got friends and acquaintances who are perhaps going the wrong way. That's how I perceive it, at least so far. I don't know exactly how the song ends, but that's how it feels like. And it feels like this voice, just living in its own world, uninfluenced by all that's going around it, starts to represent this fragile, tender, and at the same time, strong, youthful spirit of the world does its thing, I do mine. I'm going to live life the way I choose. And because he's not influenced by, not shaped by the music around him, the instruments around him, it becomes symbolic of what is being communicated in this song itself. And that's how it ends. Same sort of tone throughout the entire piece. The same sort of musical accompaniment throughout the entire piece. It has its highs and lows. It's louder and quieter portions, but the general feel is pretty much that of kids passing time. And then we end. As you see, there's no one around. The street heats the urgency of now. As you see, there's no one around. Well, the video clip gives a different perspective, actually, than what I feel in the music and in the lyrics. Maybe it's valid as well. The idea of, okay, kids out doing some mischief, pranking, even a little bit more than pranking, pushing the limits, getting in a bit of trouble, misbehaving a bit, although nothing really terribly bad. But to me, as I read this, again, with the opening lines and now seeing the ending lines as well, cool kids never have the time. On a live wire right up off the street, you and I should meet, June bug skipping like a stone. We were sure we'd never seen an end to it all, and I don't even care to shake these zipper blues. I guess what I gather from that, what I first gathered from that is a couple kids have a crush on each other. They're in love, and they want to meet, and maybe even kiss. And so now coming to the end, we don't know just where our bones will rest. To dust, I guess, forgotten and absorbed into the earth below. The street heats the urgency of now. As you see, there's no one around. and so it feels like it fits the image I have in my mind based on what the music made me think. Maybe also I'm carrying a little bit of the memory of yesterday's song, the idea of the opportunities of life. This could actually have a different meaning. Now that I've been through to the end and I think about the lyrics and also what the video clip has said, it could have a different meaning than what the first impression I got. But regardless which interpretation you take of it, what I gathered from it myself, or what the video clip is portraying, or maybe even a different angle that you feel from it, there are a few things that remain true that the music doesn't allow us to forget. First of all, the youthfulness of it. This beat and this musical style, the energy in it is one of youth. And it's not entirely careless, but it's not terribly serious either. It is youth killing time or using their time as they choose. And that is embodied in the voice as it relates to the instrumentation and the music, other musical elements. So it brings in some interesting ideas, and then it leaves it up to us to decide what exactly is the, shall we say, storyline that we're going to take away from the lyrics. But those things remain true. And so I guess I stand by my assertion that this and yesterday's song have that in common, that it is about a looking out to at the world around us and looking at our lives and saying, there are so many opportunities and so much available to us. What are we going to take? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do with it? And okay, yeah, we go to dust, I guess, but I'm not going to let that hang over me. It's just facts of life. Let's live. So that is the Smashing Pumpkins weekend. It's been enjoyable, fun, 2 very contrasting pieces, and at the same time with some common ground. And I look forward to seeing what comes next. I'll see you soon.